Crookie, no doubt, a bit hoarse after he was commentating on United against Lyon last night. And when you're commentating on your own team as well, that has to be one of the highs for him in the end and how it turned out. And that's where we're going to start this hour, because it did turn out to be Amorim time, not Fergie time, live on talkSPORT. Manchester United then coming from 4-2 down in extra time to win 5-4 on the night and get through to the Europa League semis 7-6 on aggregate. Tottenham, meanwhile, well, they're also through after beating Eintracht Frankfurt 2-1 over the two legs. They'll face the Norwegian outfit Bodo Glimt next, and it's United against Bilbao in the other semi. For more on this, we're joined now by a man who knew exactly how to go all the way in Europe. It's a very good morning to Sir Alex Ferguson's former right-hand man, René Meulensteen. René, how are you? Good morning.
Morning, René.
Good morning, Natalie. Good morning, Dean.
Oh, what a pleasure to have you with us. My goodness, what a night at Old Trafford. Those fans that left early will be regretting it.
I've been listening to most of your show, Natalie, and I was wondering if you've already had listeners on that have turned off the TV when it was 4-2 to Lyon, gone to bed, and had no clue how the game was panning out. And I'm 100% sure there must be people there that have done that. But it is one of those remarkable, unforgettable European nights. And that's why those European competitions at these stages of quarterfinals and semi-finals are so good. You go back to Aston Villa, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Real Madrid yesterday with Tottenham against Frankfurt and Man United, obviously, to top it off. It was just incredible.
René, I was saying to Natalie earlier, the Lyon manager and Harry Redknapp, the Lyon manager must be absolutely devastated. Do you think, was there anything he could have done to stop that happening? Or does it just slip through your fingers?
Well, yeah, you know, sometimes football develops in mysterious ways and you can't control the uncontrollable. But it was interesting because I did BBC 5 Live and Conor McNamara and Paul Robinson were on the commentary team, and they were saying how different the tactical of the team talk was in the little minutes before extra time, where Amorim had his tactics board out and was very clear to say, listen, we're going to put Harry up front, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we try to achieve. Where Fonseca was purely emotion, motivation. You know, what is right, what is wrong, I don't know. But when you are obviously 4-2 up, or you're going then 4-2 up, you need to say, listen, you need to manage the game, Dean. You need to then be obviously really clever, which they try to do, because they try to, you know, to go down and fake injuries and all this and that and the other. But I think the turning point in that extra time was how quickly United scored from that penalty from Bruno Fernandes that Casemiro got. That gave them the life. If that would have taken another 5 minutes longer for Lyon to settle a little bit more defensively, then probably we wouldn't have seen the result that we saw. But listen, at the end of the day, happy days.
We had Harry Redknapp on earlier, obviously, to talk about Spurs. We got on to talking about Manchester United, and he ended up saying, because of Harry Maguire's winning goal in the end, that, you know, Ruben Amorim should just play Maguire up top for the rest of the season, because, you know, Rasmus Højlund has struggled, Joshua Zirkzee is out injured now. Is that something you'd even consider if you were part of that coaching team?
Well, it would say a lot about the state of Manchester United.
Yeah.
And you know, and yes, obviously there's a time and a place to do so. I couldn't see him starting all the way up front because, like, Dean knows better than anybody else. You know, when you go into the last extra time or 50 minutes or 10 minutes up front, then you know what it is. It's every ball in the box, and Harry has to find his duels. But if you play for 90 minutes, you need to have a different level of energy, a little different of movement, a different level of skill. So otherwise you just start, humping the ball forward. He mentioned Crouch, because I heard what Harry said in some ways. And he said, yeah, but Crouch was like, I don't know, 6'4", 6'5", but he was good with his feet. He was a good player, a good link-up player. You know, I would be reluctant to do it, but I can see a time and a place, like yesterday, that you can use him there and he can be very, very effective.
René, last night, obviously, Man United are struggling a bit with midfield players. Eriksen looks like he's going to leave the club at the end of the season. But Casemiro last night, if you isolated his contributions to the game, I mean, you can see how he's won so many trophies. He shows bits of class. The pass for the Harry Maguire's header He had to get that right. Last kick of the game. He gets the penalty. I don't know who put the ball through for Manu. Was it Casemiro who put the ball through?
Yeah,
Casemiro
it was
as well,
Fernandez to Casemiro, and then
he gets on the end of things as well in the box. I mean, you can see. I don't know what they're going to do with him. He's on 300 grand a week. They look like they want to get rid of him, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. But I think the biggest thing, I think everybody listens without a doubt. He's still on the ball, a good player, can find a pass, can see a pass. I'm always amazed as well, Dean, because he's not 6'4" or 6'5", but every time a ball or a cross gets in the box, he gets his head to it. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's got a great time. I think the biggest thing that Casemiro struggles with, and that's seen many, many times in the Premier League, if the game opens up, he's got too bigger distances to cover, and he hasn't got the legs to do it. So I do think it is definitely a department that United need to address for the future.
Just finally then, with this result last night, and we've had many Manchester United fans getting in touch about just how delighted obviously they are with it and what a comeback it turned out to be. Ruben Amorim has spoken about, look, this could be a turning point for us in terms of just building that connection with the fans and the players and the team, etc. Do you think it could be a massive turning point for them? I know in terms of the Premier League, it's not been great, but going forward under Amorim, that it could be a defining moment.
It can be, but the only thing what then needs to happen is that the next results and the performances need to be as good. There need to be consistency. I don't want to be a party pooper here, Natalie, but let's not forget United conceded 10 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, fair enough.
And everybody gets blurred with the emotion of winning and the excitement and don't look. But if you pick the bones out of it and you start looking at it and say, how did we get there in the first place? They were 2-0 up. And it should have been 3-0. You manage the game out, you probably win it 4 or 5, I don't know. And against 10 men, suddenly what happened, I don't know. But I was very impressed with him in the first half. I was very unimpressed with him in the second half. And that is what things. So there's no inconsistency. So this incident game, because I think it can be an incident, because at the end of the day, the trend is that United haven't been consistent, have not been consistent all the season. So why would they now? Just because they pulled out a game in the last dying minutes of a Europa League quarter-final, it yet has to be seen. Hopefully it is a turning point. It is definitely a base to work from, but let's see what happens in the future.
Brilliant. René, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, René.
Thank you.
Top man, thanks.
René Meulensteen, so Alex Ferguson's assistant, joining us to review then what happened last night and being quite measured about, you can enjoy the success, but
I interviewed him, Nat, right? And I said to him, what do you think your greatest achievement is in football? And he reeled off. He's gone for 5 minutes. Well, won the Premier League title 7 times. Won the World Cup, Champions League 3 times.
Well,
he's reeled them off.
If you're going to ask the question, and he's going to have his roll
What
call.
a CV he's got.
Absolutely.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.